Good morning. Welcome to your Tuesday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well. And I think we're done with the rain, so everything is going to be growing like crazy today. So I'm sure there'll be 8 bazillion lawnmowers going. We have a card today from the Soul Coaching deck by Denise Lynn, What Your Soul Wants You to Know. And our soul has multiple ways of communicating with us, right? It can give you that sense of knowing, kind of like it's knocking on the door in there going, hey, got something for you. Sometimes it shows up in cheeky ways, like in a book or a billboard or good morning, welcome to whomever just popped on. Barb, glad you're here. You're the first one here this morning. Welcome, welcome. All kinds of, I forgot to put earrings on today. One of those days. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome. Glad you're here. As everybody starts to roll in, again, as soon as one of you pops on, it seems like multitudes of you show up. Good morning, Judy. Welcome. Glad you're here. And again, we have a very, to me, what I would say is a useful card today, a very useful card. So it gives us something to focus on, and actually the word is focus, that helps everything else that we're attending to either get the attention it deserves or withdrawing our attention, because that isn't what we want to focus on anyway. We don't want to empower something we don't want. Good morning, Lucy. Welcome. Glad you're here. So, Soul Coaching deck by Denise Lynn, What Your Soul Wants You to Know. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Everybody popping on. That's good. Our card is focus. Good morning, Mel. We are going to focus today. That's what we're aiming for today. Focus. Focus. All right, so let's just do some breathing. And every breath you inhale, I want you to draw your attention back within. And every breath you exhale, I want you to release whatever is distracting you. So you breathe in, focus. You exhale whatever's distracting you. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Peggy. And yes, we all need some focus. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. On the inhale, drawing in focus. On the exhale, releasing distraction. And when you notice a distraction, just draw your attention back to the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And you keep breathing, and I'm going to talk. You will notice that when you do this kind of a focusing energy, when you meditate, etc., you are off task, sometimes more than you're on task. Don't worry about that. That's the human condition. So just keep practicing. And over time, you're going to find there's these little pockets where, wow, I really was attentive there. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Beth. Happy post-birthday. Welcome. So just breathing deeply and easily. Breathing in focus. Breathing out distraction. Breathing in focus. Breathing out distraction. And just keep that going, because that's what we want to focus on today. Focus. Staying as attentive as we can. One of the things I like to do is when I close my eyes, just imagine the spot in my third eye. And I'll just redirect to that spot in my third eye. And oftentimes that helps me stay more focused. And then I'll drift off, and then I just come back. Don't try not to beat yourself up about the drifting off. It is part of the package. Okay? It's just part of the package. So here's our card, focus. Card meaning, what you focus on is what you create. Hear that again. What you focus on is what you create. So when we focus on what we don't want, we get more of what we don't want. Let's focus on what we do want. Put your attention on thoughts that are beautiful, worthwhile, and loving. It's time to focus your intent and your passion on one thing, rather than being scattered in different directions. Now that doesn't mean you don't attend to the other things that need attending to, but you're not pouring your soul's energy into everything. So you reserve your soul's energy for that one thing that's most important. Maybe you're pouring it into a relationship right now. Maybe you're pouring it into a job. Maybe you're pouring it into a hobby that you love or a problem you're trying to solve. What you're focusing on. With the problem-solving one, do not focus on the problem. And you're going to go, well, what am I focusing on? Focus on the solution. You're not focusing on the problem. You can acknowledge the problem is there, okay? So I'm just going to pick one. Let's say I'm carrying around 20 extra pounds that I don't want. If I focus on that, pretty soon I'm going to be carrying around that 20 pounds and 10 of it's French. Focus on what do I want? I want to feel healthy. I want to feel vibrant. I want to feel good. I want to eat well. I want to sleep well. Those are the things you desire. Then turn them into actionable steps. Little bitty actionable steps. We've been talking about that, haven't we? Little bitty. Because you're in the space you're in because of past choices, because of beliefs, because of substrate that keeps you going around and around and around there. Definition of insanity. Keep doing what you've been doing but expecting different results. Ain't going to happen. So that DIET, forget it. Forget it. That is not a good focus. Good morning, Pat. Glad you are here. But again, focusing on the I wants. Start with it in the form of I want. Then, as you're ready to proceed, shift it to I have, I am, claiming it. It's already yours. It's already yours. Kind of like that famous Jim Carrey story where he walked around the neighborhood where he wanted to live and just spoke to himself. He parked there in his junky car and he got out and he hadn't made any money on movies yet. And he was walking around going, I have all of this. I just haven't manifested it yet. It's all mine. And he just kept telling himself. Good morning, Sue. Welcome. Glad you are here. So just keep telling yourself. And you may feel like, well, that's delusional, Bonnie. I'm telling myself I have something that I don't have. Nope. Good morning, Diane. You are actually creating the physical foundation to have it. To have it. So keep that going through your mind. Again, I showed you my little picture of my intentional community. Stuck right to my computer screen. Make it tangible. Make it a part of your everyday life. Maybe you walk around the neighborhood where you want to have that house. Maybe you go visit the building of the company that you want a job at. Maybe you go test drive that car that you're interested in. Maybe you fantasize about that trip you want to take, that relationship you want to have, whatever it is. Again, you're creating the substrate for that to be the case, all right? It's time to focus your intent and your passion on one thing rather than being scattered in different directions. And those of you who are ADD distractible like me, we just have to redirect. Redirect. Nope, I'm not thinking about that. Nope, I'm not working on that. One of my tools that I stumbled upon at one point many years ago that has served me so well is setting the timer on my phone. When there's a task I need to do. So let's say I'm going to, well, yesterday one of the tasks I did was went through and cleared out a bunch of downloads. My download file is humongous, people. Humongous. So I set a timer for 30 minutes and I went through and I cleared out a bunch of stuff. Now, because I had set the timer, it was kind of like a beat the clock thing. So whenever my mind wandered, ooh, I want to look at that one again, or I want to, you know what? No, I'm clearing stuff out. If at the end of the timer I want to go back and look at something, fine. But right now I'm playing beat the clock. I've got the timer going. Try that. You can do that for a 5-minute thing, for a half-hour thing. I like setting it for small amounts. I'm going to do 10 minutes of email clearing. I'm going to do 15 minutes of desk clearing. I'm going to, whatever it is, a small amount of time, set the timer, because the timer will help you stay focused. All right? Your soul wants you to know what you see around you is the result of what you focus on. Hear that again. What you see around you, what you've manifested, is what you've focused on. And you might say, I didn't think about that car accident. Not that specifically, but you may have had thoughts that were distracting in nature, making it more likely you're going to have the car accident. You may have had thoughts about, I really want to get a different car. Boom. Okay, it's totaled. Now I get a different car. Is that a conscious choice? I'm going to crash my car so that I get a new one? No. But your subconscious mind is operating all the time. And again, it's very childlike. So when you say, I want something or I don't want something, the subconscious mind grabs onto it and runs with it. Although it does not hear the don't. All it hears is what comes after it. So if you say, I don't want chicken pox, you may be setting yourself up. All right? It gets rid of the don't. I want chicken pox. Runs with it. So work with that subconscious mind. That's why the pictures. A picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So capture some pictures of what it is that you do want, right? When you direct your thoughts toward good, you attract positive experiences and people into your life. But when you focus on what isn't working, you create even more challenging situations. Now, for those of us who are trauma people, it's very easy because we've still got brain structures that are designed to protect us. And because we've had trauma, that section of our brain, the reptilian brain, has gotten lit up and the pathways back there are really well grooved. So it's kind of like an Eeyore sort of a thing. Walk out the door, oh, I think it's gonna rain. And it's the instant negative thought. Catch it. Catch it. Do not beat yourself up for it. Love that trauma brain. It was there to help you survive. Just override it. Override it. Nope. I think it's going to be a beautiful day. Look, there's a little bit of blue sticking out of all these clouds. Look, there's people walking around, having conversations, smiling. Look, the trees are bright green right now. Aren't they beautiful? Focus on the good stuff. Focus on the good stuff. And again, this is not a namby-pamby, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how'd you like the play, kind of a thing. This is, you're still acknowledging the stuff that you're not thrilled with, but you're not letting it rule your thoughts. Okay, so I'm going to make one up here. Yes, I broke my arm. I'm in a cast. I can't do all the things I want to do, but I still have one good arm. I can do some of the things I want to do. I can ask for help. This might be an opportunity to connect with people I haven't connected with in a while. Hey, can you help me with X? Finding some good in the difficulties, all right? Because that's what makes you tenacious. That's what builds resilience. When you can figure out, Diane and I have been doing the Harry Potter series, so it was second movie last night, and I love watching the resilience that J.K. Rowling wrote into the Harry character. That is one resilient little dude, right? So let's draw on that. Human beings can be resilient. We need to build our resilience. How do we build our resilience? Oprah tells a story about every year she would pick out something she was going to focus on. One year it was beauty. One year it was, strength. One year it was whatever. She said in the year when she asked for strength, she was given one soul-sucking situation after another. So she decided after that she wasn't going to ask for anything. She was going to take what came her way. I thought that was a pretty interesting approach. And that would be a very Buddhist approach to things. You're not asking for what you want. You're allowing what comes to come. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy things or look forward to things, but it's not like you're grasping for stuff, okay? Let's see, where are we? If you aren't pleased with the direction of your life, ready for this? If you aren't pleased with the direction of your life, concentrate on what you desire, not on what you don't want. So instead of saying, man, this marriage is dismal, there's no conversation, blah, 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 focus on what you do want. Find the things that are good there. Yeah, he really does help around the house a lot. Maybe that's his love language. I'd like more conversation. Maybe that's just not his gig. I'll find other people to have conversation with. I'll attempt some conversations with him and see how they go. Maybe instead of let's sit down and have a talk, maybe when we're in the vehicle, I'm going to bring something up to talk about. Working with what you have. Loving what is, as Byron Katie would say. To develop inner power, I'm going to call it resilience, to develop inner power, gather your internal energy and focus intently on one thing. That's what meditation is, right? You're focusing on a mantra, you're focusing on your breath, whatever it is you're focusing on. That's what meditation is designed to foster, is that focus. Being scattered in a myriad of directions dilutes your strength. Devote your attention to your career, your relationships, a hobby, or something that you're passionate about. Diminish activities that aren't essential to this goal, and it will just be a matter of time until miracles occur. So another thing that you can do, again, if you have your, let me see if I can find one. This one, I'm going to pick this one. I am committing to the result, not the action steps. So this was one my coach gave to me, the idea being that when I was only focused on the to-do list, the action steps, sometimes I'm like, hell with it, I don't want to do this, this is boring, whatever. Or I didn't have enough oomph, why do I even want to do this? Answer that question. Why do you want to do it? That is, you're committing to the result. So I'm going to pick one. I want to see this intentional community. I want to see it live, right? So that's my result. That's what I'm committing to. I'm not committing to all of the steps it's going to take to get there. I will take them, but I am committing to that result. And if my result is I want the intentional community built, why is the juice that gets this thing going? Why is the gasoline in the tank? So why do I want this? I want a place where people get together and have conversation and meals together. I want a place where people don't feel lonely and isolated. You have your own home, but you're not separate from all of this community. It's creating its own little neighborhood, right? So yes, and as Beth says, keep your eyes on the prize. Don't let the other stuff distract you. Again, I've talked about the quadrant idea, right? And it's a Stephen Covey thing. So there's 2 axes and there's 4 boxes. The 2 axes are urgent, not urgent, important, not important. I'm going to tell you again, we spend way too much of our time in urgent, not important. Phone ringing, email dinging, all that stuff. Someone saying, hey, can you help me with this right now? All that stuff. We spend way too much time on that and not nearly enough time on not urgent, but important. Like for me, not urgent, but important is getting this intentional community built. Is it right in my face? Am I homeless at the moment? No. So it's not chewing at me the way it would chew at me if it were urgent. So I need to have other reasons, other ways to find the gasoline in the tank to do the daily things that are going to get this thing accomplished. Make sense? All right. Let's see. Yes, diminish activities that are essential to this goal, and it will be just a matter of time until miracles begin to occur. The affirmation is, all of my thoughts are directed toward my highest good. All of my thoughts are directed toward my highest good. Excuse TJ, he must have found somebody out there. Read it again. All of my thoughts are directed toward my highest good. Now that right there was an example of short-term memory. I had it for a moment, I focused on the dog, lost my focus, had to look it up again. Good morning, Brenda. Welcome from Canada. Glad you are here. So we're just about done, but you can always watch the replay. Our card for today is focus. Focus, focus. All of my thoughts are directed toward my highest good. And so anytime you find the thoughts drifting, practice one of the tools that I just talked about. Something that's going to keep it right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. So every time you start slipping, you're quicker to catch it. You're quicker to catch it. And there goes my dad headed out for church. It's a holy day, so he's off. So put some thoughts in the feed. What are your thoughts about this? How do you do on focus? Do you tend to get frustrated and beat yourself up? Thank you, Cindy, for putting our mantra in the feed. I appreciate that. Where do you get hung up on the focus thing? Again, for me, I have ADD. I am not a focused person most of the time. So I have all these tools and tricks that I use to keep myself focused. For me also, one thing is I don't have music playing when I'm working typically, especially not anything loud and jazzy. I don't have a TV. One of the reasons I gave up the TV, other than the fact that my daughter did something and blew up, when she was about 11, I think, which was fine with me. I haven't had a TV since. A TV is, to me, is a distraction. I can't stay focused on what I want to stay focused on. Like right now, I'm struggling to stay focused, giving him roaring around behind me, giving the business to whatever it was. Probably someone walking through with a dog. But focus, 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 focus. So my hope for you is that today you take some time to practice some of the things that I talked about. Whether it's putting up a picture of what it is that you want, whether it's practicing catching your thoughts. You know, maybe you set your timer on your phone for once an hour, and when it goes off, you check in. What's the quality of my thoughts right now? Am I being a negative Nelly, or am I focused on what it is I do want and heading myself in that direction? So, have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.